Hey, it's Howie Mandel, and I am inviting you to witness history as me and my Howie Do It gaming team take on Gilly the King and Wallow 267's $1 million gaming in an epic global gaming league video game showdown. 4 rounds, multiple games, 1 winner, plus a halftime performance by multi-platinum artist Travie McCoy. Watch all the action and see who wins and advances to the championship match against Neo right now at globalgamingleague.com. That's globalgamingleague.com. Everybody games.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes, and suddenly you lose your motivation to get out of bed. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the season or time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round.
Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Attack the Baseline, a WNBA podcast where every episode we attack our baseline knowledge of the WNBA. We're your hosts, John and Kristen Barber, and today we're back to talk about the WNBA for a change. We've got a transformational CBA that has been inked between the Players Association and the owners and the league, and we have a lot of things to talk about, a lot of exciting things, and a lot of wins for our players. But before we get into all of that, Kristen, how are you on this wonderful spring day?
Hello, I'm amazing.
Yeah.
John told me to bring some energy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We have been watching March Madness, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We just watched the first upset.
Major upset, yeah.
10 seed Virginia upsetting Georgia.
In OT.
Playing in an 82-degree arena in Iowa. That's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So good luck to the rest of the women playing in there the rest of the day, because it's just going to be getting hotter.
God.
But it's been so much fun.
Yes.
I love March Madness, so that will always give me energy.
The best time of year for basketball, and especially elevated this year, getting this news last week about the CBA, making it feel certain that we get a WNBA season this year. As a WNBA podcast, this is very meaningful to us. We can finally start to talk about free agency and expansion, and we've got so many things planned between now and the start of the season, and it's going to be a whirlwind. And I can't wait. I can't wait to just have all the thought experiments, to see where some players go, to think about where some players are going to go.
Yeah. No, April is really about to be nonstop.
Yes.
No sleep. They said it.
Uh-huh. No sleep for a month. Mm-hmm. It will be no sleep for a month.
Yep.
And I just can't wait. But before we get into the details of this landmark CBA, again, if you'd like to send us an email, you could do so at our email, attackthebaseline@gmail.com. Connect with us on Bluesky, Instagram, TikTok at ATBPod. Subscribe to our YouTube. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform it is that you listen to the show. And, of course, tell your friends and family to get ready for another season of the WNBA, the 30th season of the WNBA, under some exciting new collective bargaining agreements. Let's just get into it from the top. The most important thing that everyone was wondering: free league pass? Are the players getting free league pass? Did they get it done?
Right?
I actually don't think we know.
We're not sure yet.
The biggest what if of the CBA.
So we got the term sheet. The term sheet was signed.
Yes.
Right? The term sheet.
The term sheet.
And then still the full thing still needs to come out. So surely there's more details around these terms, other things probably sprinkled in. But we got the main points.
Yes.
On Friday yesterday.
Yes. The important stuff for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, all of our money stuff that we care about, and our roster stuff, and our housing stuff. The most important issues have been addressed in this 2-page term sheet. If you haven't seen it, we reposted it on our Bluesky. Very relevant to check that out if you want to be in the know about what's going on. So we can talk about what we know, and then at the end talk about what we're still wondering about, which we'll get in more detail probably in the next week or two as we see the finalized document. That's not just the term sheet. But where do you want to start? You want to talk numbers?
Sure. That's the big headline. How much the salary cap was raised.
Yeah.
From the old CBA, 1.2 million, or was it 1 million? Now
1.2.
Up to 7.
A big win.
Huge jump.
Big win there.
The average salary went from 120,000 to now projected to be 600,000.
5 times. Pretty good.
Yep. The rookie minimum now in the new CBA is going to be higher than the Supermax used to be.
Which is...
I love it.
Great. It's excellent. It really is showing how these women stood on business. They said, you owe us way more than we have been paid for 29 years. And they got it done. This is really they've said transformational over and over again. This is going to change a lot of lives.
Yep.
And that is an incredible thing. Obviously, could there have been more money? Yes. But I think the most important thing that they got done here is tying their salaries directly to the revenue that is made by the league for the first time in league history for these players. They're going to have...
First time in women's sports
history. Period. To be able to grow with the money that the league brings in, we know it's going to be 20% over the life of this deal. They came in at 40. They ended at 20.
That's not bad.
I mean, I would say it's bad to a certain degree. And Sarah Spain talked about this on her show, that it's a shame that ultimately at the end of the day, this is where we're at. But the fact that it's gross now means that in the future, the number will go up. There's no scenario that I can see where it's going to go back from a gross revenue sharing model to a net revenue sharing model like we were at last year. So this is a win and will be a continued win for these women. That means because we keep hearing about the life of the deal, I think one of the, and I just want to get this out of the way because there's so many wins here, but I think one of the handful of losses that I would say, outside of this number being a little low, is that the CBA itself is pretty long. It's a 7-year CBA with an opt-out after 6. I would be pretty surprised if they don't take the opportunity to opt out, but this is 6 years down the road. They want to get through this next chunk of expansions. We want to get our Philly team in and then have a couple years before we have to have these discussions again. And I'm sure the players and the league do not want to have these kind of discussions again anytime soon, which is why they kind of pushed it. But it ends up being a win for the owners if you project forward how much money the W is going to make 6 years from now, and they're still going to be only getting 20% at that rate. They're going to have another conversation, I'm sure, in time. We deserve more money.
Are we sure that revenue sharing percentage is not increasing? I thought that was part of it. The revenue share percentage increases as we go.
It does, but it's going to be 20% over the life of the deal. So it's not even starting at 20%.
Okay.
We don't know exactly. It might be at 17%, and maybe it's going to tick up like 0.5% every year, something like that. It's a lot of money, but it's going to be a while before that number goes north of 20.
Yeah. No, there's definitely like the players got a lot of what they wanted.
Absolutely.
I would say if I was a player, I would want this to only be a 5-year thing. I totally get, like, let's do all the planned expansions and then talk about it. So probably the 7 years is something that the league pushed.
I think they certainly pushed that. And, the players talked about getting creative. I imagine the league comes in at 7 and the players say, okay, we'll go 7, but give us an opt-out at 6. Like, give us some wiggle room. there, and they ultimately got that. But yeah, I just want to get the negative out of the way, because I do think that is a little bit of a bummer that it's going to take them a while to renegotiate. Of course, I don't really know how the amendments work, because we got chartered flights with, there still being existing stuff on the old CBA. So like, who knows what other things they could add over the next couple of years that they haven't already discussed here. I think that just comes as a discussion between the league and the players. But it sounds like they're on relatively good terms. I mean, we talked about Kathy getting ousted. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. There wasn't a lot of negative rhetoric from the players toward that. It was only positives about how the negotiation went for them. So take it to believe that the players are quite happy about everything that they got out of
No, I think the players are very happy. I haven't seen any sort of negativity from the players. Like, BG posted a really cute
with the
post
grill
on Instagram with her big chain and grill. Courtney Williams and T talked about how like they're going to be millionaires and they're going to be the first millionaires in their family.
That's cute.
And I love that. Like, it's changing their lives. And so they really had to fight for this, but now it's totally worth it. Fee posted something. I think she just posted
We did it, Joe.
the gif. We did it, Joe. That was good. Leisha and Ryan were funny because they're always doing their snack reviews. And now they said, well, now we can travel to the different countries and actually get snacks from different countries instead of having to bring stuff in
and spit them out after one bite.
Yeah. But I think the players are very happy. And Kathy said, this is a win-win. We're happy too.
Great.
So, okay, good. Then I cannot be upset. Like, I have things that I would have wanted to see and I still wonder about, and we can talk about that at the end. But as long as the players are happy right now, then I am also happy.
Hey, it's Howie Mandel, and I am inviting you to witness history as me and my Howie Do It gaming team take on Gilly the King and Wallow 267's $1 million gaming in an epic global gaming league video game showdown. 4 rounds, multiple games, 1 winner, plus a halftime performance by multi-platinum artist Travie McCoy. Watch all the action and see who wins and advances to the championship match against Neo right now at globalgamingleague.com. That's globalgamingleague.com. Everybody games.
Has the news been getting you down? I'm Megan McCardle, and I'm here to help. I'm the host of a news show from Washington Post Opinion called Reasonably Optimistic, and it's an antidote to the pessimism that's riddling America right now. Every Wednesday, I'm going to talk to people who see a path forward.
It does seem to me that there is some awakening of a desire to act together, to solve problems where they are.
I am a believer in America, and it's worth fighting for.
Join me Wednesdays on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and 0 weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
Right. So now that those sort of expectations are out of the way, we talked about the salary cap. We talked about the length of the deal. Do you want to get into kind of the nitty gritty of some of these numbers, this rookie scale stuff, and the Supermax, which is a pretty big number, I would say. We were projecting that the Supermax contract would be over 2. That's what we were hoping on our bingo board. It ends up at 1.4. It will get over 2 by the end of the deal, which is a win. But I want to talk about the epic provision in a little more detail. And I know there's been a lot of discourse about it on Bluesky. Go check that out if you haven't seen that and you want to know what people are saying about it. But it is, if you're unfamiliar, this specific provision that benefits players on rookie scale deals who accomplish certain major accomplishments, which would be making all W, winning an MVP. There's only a handful of players that this is currently relevant to. Caitlin, Paige, Aaliyah Boston. That's who it's ultimately going to affect at the start. Now, there's such a glut of young talent that I could see this impacting a lot of future players as well, especially with the classes that we're seeing coming in to the league. But how it works is basically if a player were to accomplish one of these feats, making all W, as these previously mentioned players have, they basically at the end of their rookie deal become eligible in the last year to jump up to either a max contract or a super max contract, depending on the level of accomplishment that they make. And then they're basically provided by their teams a max rookie scale contract, which would be, I believe we projected as 1.2. And then the super max would be 1.4, as I previously mentioned, of course, increasing over the life of the CBA. I don't have any problems with this personally. There is a similar thing like this in the NBA. I do believe that if a player accomplishes these things that is limited only to 10 players every season, then they certainly deserve a significant raise, because if a player's making all W, if Caitlin's making all W, she's going to be a core member of the Indiana Fever. So pay her as it is. And of course, there's going to be challenges financially when you have multiple good players on these expensive contracts. But I personally don't have any issue with rewarding rookie players that make these accomplishments in the first handful of years of their rookie contract.
No, neither do I. I think it rewards the best players. I mean, in a certain sense. So that's what you want to happen. I think people were worried that this CBA would only reward the top players in a not fair way, really. And this perhaps gives the players that already have the most attention and already have the most media deals and brand deals and are already making the most money, they are making more money because of this.
Right.
But I don't think it's in a super unfair way.
Right. They still have to be good to earn it. Now, I get the argument that there's a level of this being a popularity provision, you could call it. But like I said, you can make all W based on popularity to a certain degree, but it's really, really hard to do. You have to be very good at your job to be able to earn this. And this is a thing that makes complete sense to me. If you're very good, you deserve to excel in your field. So I don't have any real qualms. Again, it's a very small group of players that this affects. But, you mentioned about how we were concerned that the CBA was going to be more for these top players and forget about the middle class. But Alicia Clark, who was very focused in negotiations, talked very glowingly about how she believes the middle class of players here is going to benefit so much by these numbers. I mean, we said average salary somewhere in the neighborhood of $600K is incredibly relevant for the 85% of players in the W. And that was the thing that I was worried about. And we will see teams, I would anticipate, once we know more ideas about how many max scale contracts you're allowed to have, there are going to be teams with like 3 max players and then a lot of cheap contracts, vets that just want to go try and get a ring. I anticipate this type of thing. But we're going to see balanced teams where everybody is getting paid $600, $700, and it looks nice and normal. So I'm not super worried about the top players making all the money and then the middle and lower class being outpaid.
Yeah. No, something I actually am looking forward to and enjoy about this deal is that it makes the difference in salaries a lot larger.
Yes.
So your Asia and your Stewie are going to be making this super max.
Right. Almost immediately.
Right. And now you're not going to be able to have so many of these top players on the same team, theoretically. So in a situation of Las Vegas where they have Asia, Jackie, Chelsea, and Jewel right now, who are all going to be demanding as much as they can get, they're not all going to be able to stay there. So I'm excited that we'll see players move around because of this.
Yes.
And I think it will free up some spots on these teams for players that are not making this much money.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting, in my opinion, to see who demands a max. I don't know how many players will demand a max, but I could see a lot of players being like, I think I deserve $1 million. It's not a max contract. It's shy of a max contract, but I think I should be a top paid player. But maybe by taking $1 million contract, if you believe you're a max player, you're saving the team $200K, which they can use to bring in more talent. The spread of the salaries, as you said, will create, I think, a certain level of diversity amongst some of these teams and what sort of roster constructions we see and how these front offices operate. And that because of the nature of all these players being free agents, the numbers are going to be so hectic when they come in. When all these deals are click, 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 click.
Yeah.
We're going to be on top of the numbers and we're going to give you an idea about what these teams can still do with some cash that they have in their pocket. But it's going to be very fun and very different from what we're used to the last couple of years.
Yeah. We'll definitely talk more about free agency.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll do a lot. I don't want to get too much into it right now.
No.
Okay.
Where do you want to go next? Do you want to talk housing? Because I would say that's another significant win by these players.
Yeah. That's something that the players were really fighting for. I think, I hear the argument that, they're making so much more money now. Why do they need the league to give them housing? But I think it's just it's not really about the money. It's about the teams making sure that the players have what they need.
Yeah.
It's about a moral sense in that way. When a player moves and they aren't sure where to go, or just so the players aren't focused so much on looking for apartments.
Yeah.
They just have what they need quickly and the teams are taking care of them in that sense. So I love that they fought for this. Right now, if I'm correct, right, it's for players who make over $500,000 less.
It's for the next 3 years, it's all players.
All players. Okay.
But then after that, 500K is the threshold, and below, those players they can apply for sponsored housing, which is really good. And it doesn't say anything about that running out. should be the length of the CBA. And yeah, once the players make more of what they deserve, this provision will probably go away in the future.
Right. Maybe in the next one, it's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, it's not really a thing that other leagues do.
Right. It is a very special thing in the W that this is even on the table.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy for those international players, those young players, especially that are entering the league, that they have some of that security there. So major win.
Yeah. I think we can talk about the number of games. So currently, the players are playing 44 games. At least they were last year. I'm assuming it's the same for this year.
I think so.
But that is expected to increase to 52 per season by the end of this CBA.
Right.
That's fun for us, watching more basketball.
More basketball.
Something I do need to see is a plan for the timing of the season then. And I imagine like the players, this is something the players were very vocal about last year. Like they are playing too many games in too small of a window.
Remember Satu? Satu was hot on this last year. Yeah.
And yeah, they were playing a lot of back-to-backs and it was a lot of travel with not a lot of rest and a lot of players got hurt.
Yep.
So I'm sure that they like to play more games they want to be playing, but I have to imagine that this comes with the season is being lengthened.
Yes.
I imagine into the fall. So we will see when the full thing comes out how that's going to work.
Right. Like the finals being, the start of November instead of the start of October, perhaps. I mean, it is kind of tough the way it's always been intertwined with the tournament. Like the tournament ends and then basically these college players are being drafted and immediately going to training camp by the middle of April.
Yeah, you can't push it earlier.
No.
Unless you're making the players wait a whole year to play, which seems crazy. So, yeah, it has to be pushed later into the fall.
Yeah. I mean, but you even mentioned that, like, we have the looming concept of Project B, which is supposed to start in November. And this was an interesting thing. Nothing about exclusivity. We didn't hear anything about that. Not a lot of mention of Unrivaled, certainly no mention of Project B. Of course, we just hope that league doesn't ever happen and then we don't have to worry about it. This certainly changes that because the Project B contracts we were hearing were big money, but now they're making more money here in the W. So maybe a lot of players feel less inclined to think about that. But I mean, this could present future scheduling mismatches, something to pay attention to down the road. But I do think, yes, you have to stretch the season. If you're going to play more games, you got to limit a number of back-to-backs. This is a thing in all of basketball that needs to be fixed. Point blank period. Give them more time to rest in between action. And then you avoid the catastrophic injuries and us complaining about why aren't my favorite players playing. It's very simple. Very, very simple. Just get your act together.
Sure.
But yes, I'm not opposed to 52 games, especially when you have 18 teams in the league. I think that's totally fair.
Right.
Don't go above that. Lock it in on 52.
Well.
Lock it in on 52.
Okay.
Done. Sign it.
And then one of the other major things is a one-time recognition payment for WNBA veterans and retired players based on years of service.
Love this.
This is so nice. And I don't think there were vets in that room that were negotiating for this, but the players just are looking out for each other.
Yes. Yeah. It shows how much they care about the previous generation of W players. And yeah, to be someone like Diana Taurasi, who played in the league for as long as she did on, the contracts that they were getting paid, to get this, one-time $100,000. Of course, Diana Taurasi, she's got a lot of money in other things, but it's cool. There are other 12-year vets that did not see anywhere near the money that DT touched. And now they get $100K just basically as a thank you for what you've meant to the W. And then we have the $50K award and the $30K award, respectively, based on years of service, 5 years minimum. You know, we've talked about how a lot of people come into the league and exit the league pretty quickly. Some of these draft classes completely gone in 3 years. They wouldn't be eligible for these. But the players that stuck it out made their names in this league, benefiting off of the backs of these current players that are in the league. I think it is an incredible thing for them, and arguably my favorite thing that came out of this CBA. I think it's a great one-time thing. And I think even more so, we just talked about how quickly players come into and leave the league. Now, one of the things that finally got fixed is roster sizes, at least to some degree. Before, 11-player mandate. You had to carry 11 players out of a 12-person roster. Now you are mandated to have a 12-person roster. You must have a full roster. Love that. Great. Because that's not even a thing in the NBA. You can have like 14 out of it, but of course they have 15-person rosters plus two ways, blah, blah, blah. But not only that, but we get this development pool concept. Players that can come in, young players, and develop with the team, get paid on salaries that don't count against the cap. It gives you an excuse to not cut that talented third-round pick. This is benefiting your Caitlin Chens of the world who just needed an opportunity. And now, like, I can't think of a W season next year where Caitlin Chen isn't a featured player, especially what we saw in AU. We don't want to lose this budding young talent because they don't have an opportunity to play ahead of some of these veterans. So by just letting them exist with the teams, even if they're not seeing any court time, eventually maybe they'll get their chance. And that's why I love this one as well.
Yeah, I love it. It's just opening so many more spots, even with the expanded teams that we have, the expansion teams. Now it's even more expanded roster size, which I love. I think someone said it's at least 57 new people that are going to be in the league next year.
Guaranteed. Right. Well, yeah, I assume you have to carry two developmental players. I can't say that they specified. You definitely have to
or not.
Right. I don't know if you have to. You should. It doesn't count against your cap, so you might as well.
Right. So why wouldn't you?
But yeah, I think it expands from like 156 last year to 210. Or 153, whatever the number is. But just great stuff. There's so much talent. We're watching the college game and we're like, man, so many more opportunities for players. And like, what's there to be upset about there? Like just a great work by the players to increase roster sizes in a creative way. They didn't just go straight to 14. They have some sort of a provision where, you know, a certain amount of players would need to get hurt for these players to actually see the court. That's kind of where it was in Unrivaled.
And it also kind of makes this hardship contract situation less insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of teams were signing these hardship contracts last year. And you're like looking for people around that aren't with you, don't know your team.
Indiana.
How long are they going to be with you for? You don't really know. And they come in and out. But now you have some backups who know your players and know your system and your coaches. Like it's just so much better of a system.
Yep. So much better.
Yep.
Has the news been getting you down? I'm Megan McArdle, and I'm here to help. I'm the host of a news show from Washington Post Opinion called Reasonably Optimistic, and it's an antidote to the pessimism that's riddling America right now. Every Wednesday, I'm going to talk to people who see a path forward.
It does seem to me that there is some awakening of a desire to act together, to solve problems where they are.
You know, I am a believer in America, and it's worth fighting for.
Join me Wednesdays on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Howie Mandel, and I am inviting you to witness history as me and my Howie Do It gaming team take on Gilly the King and Wallow 267's $1 million gaming in an epic global gaming league video game showdown. 4 rounds, multiple games, 1 winner, plus a halftime performance by multi-platinum artist Travie McCoy. Watch all the action and see who wins and advances to the championship match against Neo right now at globalgamingleague.com. That's globalgamingleague.com. Everybody games.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/zip to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
I think the last major point that stuck out to me was the new rule that players who are pregnant must give consent before that they are traded while they're pregnant. We've seen this be called the De'Erica Hamby rule, or
the Becky Hammond rule.
I prefer giving complimentary credit to De'Erica.
Yes, it's the Hamby rule complimentary or the Hammond rule derogatory.
Yeah.
Depends on how you feel about it. That's what you could call it.
Yeah. But of course, this is great. Like, someone who's pregnant has to prepare for the future in a different way than everyone else. So trading them mid-season without their consent is just like an insane thing to do.
Yeah. And I have to imagine there's a lot of players, especially with financials over the last couple of years, that have wanted to have a child that didn't feel like they could because they would be spending time away from the thing that's making them, making the money.
Right. And they didn't know how that would impact their spot on the team.
Right. But now there's protections, and that's an incredible thing too. And not only that, not only just pregnancy, but we also are getting a new season-ending injury exception for giving teams salary flexibility in a way that not only will allow these players that get hurt to keep their salaries. I think the one of the biggest examples that I can think of is Benijah Laney Hamilton last year got hurt in Unrivaled, and the Aces were able to suspend her contract and not pay her because she got hurt outside of W activities. I imagine in the future of this league, they would still be able to pay her what she's under contract for, but they would be able to not get hit against the cap for the player not being available, which is a great thing. More protections is always a good thing for these players. And one of the things I know that they fought the hardest for, to make sure that when they go through these life-changing events, be it an injury, be it a pregnancy, that they are going to be financially protected.
Awesome.
There was a lot of worry. I think there was a lot of concern that they were going to cave and they were going to take a lot of L's, but I see a lot of wins here.
Yeah.
For these players.
Yeah, for sure. And it seemed like for a little bit that there was some infighting and some drama and what is happening and
the letter,
right.
Yeah.
And people being unhappy with how the negotiations were going. But hey, put these people in a room for 105 hours every night. Something's going to get done. Something.
Yeah. A lot of 3 a.m. news breaks. Man, I'm just glad we don't have to wonder what's going on when we hear they've been negotiating for 12 hours and we have no details. Now we can just not worry about it anymore.
Then they're sharing selfies of themselves at the end of this, all smiling and happy. Okay, guess it was good.
Guess they had a good time. They were sleeping in there. Do you hear about they had blankets and pillows?
I would be
sleeping on the floor.
I would absolutely be sleeping. I can't stay up like that. Crazy.
Insane.
But you got to do what you got to do.
So what are some of the things that we're still wondering about What are your big like mysteries that you want to get an idea of once we have the full CBA document?
Yep. So definitely more exact details on how, like, who's eligible for these maxes and super maxes.
Yep.
I think
what actually triggers it. Yeah.
Right. Because like there's criteria, but we don't really know what that is right now. So it's unclear really how many players or who will be getting these super maxes right out of the gate, but we'll see.
Right.
Something we didn't mention was coring.
Yes.
That was changed to now only players who have spent 6 or less years in the league are allowed to be cored.
Yes.
But that was kind of the only difference that we heard about. I would be interested of the other details around that. Coring is just very like complicated and weird.
Yes. But I actually, we talked about this the other night, the two of us, and this makes me not have nearly as much disdain for the coring aspect of this league, because it means that you're going to do that to prioritize a young player. And remember, with the core designation, the player can effectively get paid a max salary. So if a player has gone into your system and you really don't want them to leave, a young player specifically, you can initiate this core and keep them in town for a year or 2 years, whatever it is ends up being with the contract that you negotiate. But when you combine that with this epic provision where these rookie players that take these massive leaps can also get maxes, it almost becomes a matter of like, we're really emphasizing the young talent, the young core talent of this league. The first 6 years, the first 7 years, we want to make sure that they have opportunities to get a lot of money up front so that they can become franchise tenant players for their teams. We won't have scenarios like last year where Alyssa Thomas, who's a 15-year veteran of the league, is getting cored. Now the longtime vets have the ability to go wherever they want to go, no questions asked, and they can't have a team sort of chaining them in a way if they were to not want to go there. So I think this is a perfect resolution. I would prefer that it doesn't exist entirely, but I don't mind it being limited to only young players because, yeah, these young players want max contracts too. So I'm sure they'd be happy to get cored to a certain extent.
Yep. That kind of leads into the expansion draft.
Yes.
We're not sure. None of that really has come out, the rules for this expansion draft. When we did our expansion mock draft a couple months ago, we were using old rules for previous years. That all has to come out still.
Right. And we were coring players that wouldn't be eligible to be cored.
Right.
Like we considered coring De'Erica Hamby. Can't do that.
No.
That's not on the table.
Right. So we are going to have to go back as soon as we hear these rules.
Yes.
We will do another mock draft.
Yes.
That is more
2.0
accurate. So look out for that. Something I guess I will say, I'm wondering if there's anything else in the CBA about like the intention or guidelines in future expansion teams.
Okay. Like as in like when Philly is there, when Philly's joining?
Like after Philly.
Oh, you mean
like
after
more
18?
Additional teams.
I would be surprised personally if that was something that they considered. I really don't get the sense that the league wants to go. I mean, maybe they want to go to 20. Maybe they want to go to 24. But like, I don't think that should be an area of focus in this CBA, personally.
Sure.
But you never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. We talked about the timeline of the season, how they plan to expand the dates of the season.
Yeah.
We hopefully will see the salary of the development players. We don't know what that will be. I am interested, and something I think I would have been fighting for is some kind of change to when players are allowed to come into the league. Because now college players, American college players, have to be turning 22 in that draft year in order to come in and be drafted.
Yeah. So the youngest American player could be 21, going 22.
They have to graduate college. Basically, most of them graduate college.
Right.
But international players are allowed to come over. Like in the case of Dominique, she was 19. So that just is a little bit of an imbalance there, where international players are able to kind of get their grips in the league. And this doesn't happen that often.
Right.
And in the case of Dominique, I'm glad she's here.
Mm-hmm.
But theoretically, the international players could come in, get their grips in the league, and have so many more years of experience in the league, technically. Mm-hmm. But they're younger than the American players coming in.
Yeah. Dominique last year, Awa Pham this upcoming year, both ahead of that age curve. I mean, in my opinion, you got to increase that number for the international players, or you do it, you reduce it by a year for the American players, 20 going into 21, something like that. I don't think we necessarily need to see these college freshmen coming out. I do think, and one of the reasons why this negotiation went well is because a lot of these women are college educated. They've got their degrees.
Yes.
They know how to have a discussion because they're educated. So it's kind of a good thing.
I think it is a good thing for them to stay in college. I think it is. And look, they're making so much money in college. So
yeah, right. With NIL,
you might as well stay there. So I think it's fine to have them stay in college.
Right.
But I do think international players perhaps should also have to wait longer.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see about that. Yeah. So there are still some mysteries. We don't know if League Pass is free. We don't. And I need to know. Also, folks, I mean, if you haven't thought about it, get ready for increased League Pass prices.
Oh, that's going up.
I'm thinking I could see the world where it's $100 for League Pass this year, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it would be great if it stays at 35, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else, John, that you are looking at or were interested in seeing?
Honestly, no. I mean, with them getting the charter flight stuff in there too, I don't think there's a lot of questions that I have. I mean, the biggest thing for me is what defines a Supermax player. And I know it's going to be some amount of how long they've lasted with their current teams. That is the most important thing as far as the Supermax is considered in the NBA. So I'm sure it's going to be the same thing. I want to know how to do with the expansion draft because I really want to do the expansion draft again.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that they don't hold those details from us. I hope we get to see this whole thing.
Right now, the projected dates are the expansion draft April 1st through 6th.
Yes.
So I'm not really sure what that means.
I guess it means that on the 1st, you have to start, writing up your paperwork, send the league your roster, your protections.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the 6th, I think is going to be the day that they intend to actually do the draft.
Sure. But how we did it was after the second round or something.
There was additional protections.
The teams protected again.
Right.
So that would take a while to happen. So maybe this does happen over multiple days.
Yeah, it could be a slow draft.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of crazy to report on. Imagine
it would be.
You get the Toronto Tempo are selecting whomever, and then 3 hours later we hear the next pick.
Yeah.
From whoever has that information. I would really love if it was televised. I think that would be really fun, but this is inherently different than the Valkyries, who just got to make their own picks. Now you're picking against each other.
Right.
There is strategy for these franchises on who they prioritize.
Right. They have to go back and forth now. It's not just the Valkyries picking one and they announce it.
Right. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. But
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Finally. I feel like I've just been in this slog of waiting around. I'm just sitting around. You never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Are any games going to be played?
Uh-huh.
Everything is uncertain and it's just annoying.
Yeah. It's not annoying anymore.
No, now it's fun. Now we know if it's going to be quick and it's going to be stressful.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot.
Yep.
but it's good.
Yeah. Make sure you lock in with us. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, because there's going to be a whirlwind of coverage as soon as we get these details. We're going to do a lot of the team previews. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to get you ready for the 30th season of the W. And we can't be...
Oh my gosh, the 30th
season. The 30th
season
season is going to be huge.
Wow.
Yes, our 30th year, the league's 30th year. This is excellent. Excellent stuff.
Our 30th B days.
Yes, it's our 30th B days this year. Huge. Send us an email if you want to ask us anything else, or if you have other takes about the CBA, to our email, attackthebaseline@gmail.com. Connect with us on Bluesky, Instagram, TikTok at ATBPod. 5-star rating and review on whatever platform it is you listen to the show. Subscribe to YouTube. Tell your friends and family to check out the show, and continue to watch March Madness. If you're in our bracket challenge, best of luck. I've got South Carolina. I'm one of 2 people that picked South Carolina to win it all. So I know it might be an unpopular pick considering the amount of UConns, but they did win by 69 points today. So I'm trusting Dawn with my life here. So let's get it done. And I mean, other than that, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Attack the Baseline. We're going to talk to you very soon about, what's going on in the tournament. But until then, Kristen, I'm staring at the baseline. And as always, what are we going to do?
Attack it.
Attack the baseline. Thank you so much for listening. And we will talk to you very soon with more real news about the WNBA.
Hey, it's Howie Mandel, and I am inviting you to witness history as me and my Howie Do It gaming team take on Gilly the King and Wallow 267's $1 million gaming in an epic global gaming league video game showdown. 4 rounds, multiple games, 1 winner, plus a halftime performance by multi-platinum artist Travie McCoy. Watch all the action and see who wins and advances to the championship match against Neo right now at globalgamingleague.com. That's globalgamingleague.com. Everybody games.
Has the news been getting you down? I'm Megan McCardle, and I'm here to help. I'm the host of a news show from Washington Post Opinion called Reasonably Optimistic, and it's an antidote to the pessimism that's riddling America right now. Every Wednesday, I'm going to talk to people who see a path forward.
It does seem to me that there is some awakening of a desire to act together, to solve problems where they are.
I am a believer in America, and it's worth fighting for.
Join me Wednesdays on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
I've been raising livestock for over 20 years, and Valley Vet Supply has been my go-to for everything from vaccines to fencing supplies. Their prices are fair, shipping is fast, and I know I'm getting quality products every time. It's just one less thing I have to worry about on the farm. If you care about your animals like I do, check out valleyvet.com. You won't be disappointed. That's valleyvet.com, my go-to source.
Home is your favorite place. Spring is when you let it feel a little more transportive. Discover vibrant scents inspired by place. Bright citrus, fresh florals, clean air energy, designed to refresh your space without adding complexity. Just plug it in, choose your scent, and let the season unfold room by room. Explore the new spring collection, now available at Pura.com.